in the training, they told us we had a lot of protection there with the bunkers it was going to be, because they were going to bomb the beach, and they had a lot of opportunities for protection. Well, it didn't happen that way, because they missed the beach. They couldn't find it. It was too foggy, and it was a bad weather, and they bombed inland and killed a lot of cattle, I guess. So we went in, and it was a terrifying experience. And I remember the ramp of the boat going down. A couple guys in the front didn't make it. And I seen what was going on, so instead of going out the ramp, I went out the side of the ramp. Ended up in the water, and the waves were pretty high, and then the waves would get, I'd have to jump to keep my head, and it kept getting closer to shore. And when I got to the beach, in the water, say from the waist down, it was really hard to run. And if you'd get hit there, you couldn't get up, and a lot of people were drowning.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
We were in England for about 3 or 4 months, going out for dry runs out in the channel and landing back in.
I trained 1 year in England for the Normandy invasion. And I knew the invasion was coming, but we just didn't know when. But we knew it was getting closer and closer.
They said, we're going to go over and make an invasion, they told us.
It was supposed to be on the 5th. They postponed it, and we left on the 6th.
We were the second wave in. They went in, and we come right behind them. So there's 5,000 ships there at one time.
We got on the ship. We were all dressed for combat. Everybody had their rifles. They had their gas masks. They were loaded down with ammunition. And we got on the ship, and we were crossing the English Channel.
When we landed there, we couldn't get to the shore. It took us in these boats. It was 17, 18 soldiers in the boat, like. You just get so far, then you had to walk in the water like that, up there. And all the way in, carrying your rifle like that. And I had 2 bandoliers, a bandolier or 2. I had all kind of ammunition on me, hand grenades. So I landed really well equipped.
The lieutenant says, get ready to abandon ship. And when he said ship, we got hit with a shell. And so everybody scrambled to get out. I had so much equipment I couldn't get over the side. And I had to get out, I went out the front, the doors.
When we got there, we got so close to the shore that the Germans seen us coming, and they started bombarding us with ammunition and bombs and rifles, because they were pretty close. We were pretty close to the shore.
One of my better friends, he got hit, and there was blood just gushing out of his head. Our orders was to stop for anybody, get in.
Well, I had a lot of close calls. I was the first Scot when I landed. So they put me up front the first to come. We used to come with some of the Germans to a wall there, and they started killing the back. They could have killed me easily, but they tried the ones in the back because they know they hit the ground. That's what I did. Hit the ground, go all the way back. So that's why I stayed there. I stayed up there for 9 months in the front line. I went to all those battles for France, and I was home when the war was done.
I was hiding behind these steel frames they had, these big crosses they had in the beach. And I noticed somebody was shooting, but they weren't shooting at me, they were shooting at the crosses. And those iron obstacles they put in there, and I could look up and I see they had landmines on there so to blow up the ships. Because we went in at low tide, and at high tide, if they'd have went in, the ships would have hit these mines. When I seen them shooting at them, well, I know that if that blew up, well, it would just kill everybody around. So we kept running from that, got up to the wall.
They were throwing these grenades. Well, they went over my head or past me, and it was fairly steep. And they rolled right, rolled out. So it didn't bother me. So I was trying to, and here one stopped short. And I crawled away from it and hugged the ground, and it blew me off the ground. And I got wounded in my left leg. Shrapnel's still in it.
But luckily, when we couldn't move, our ships start bombing. They find out our ships start bombing the Germans up the hill. They knocked some of those hideouts, they knocked them out with their cannons. And luckily, the Air Force came, the United States Air Force. And once they came, they knew where they all were on. They wiped them out. They wiped most of the Germans out. And we moved in right away. We got on shore, and we started going up the hill.
It's so much happening. It's like 20 train wrecks all around you. People screaming. One thing is, about noise. There was a soldier, I don't know if he was there or not. He wasn't close to me. But he was hollering for his mother. Oh, that man, it's still, think about that. I thought if your mother can help you, I'm going to stick with you.